Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a quick MLS home property search. And this is going to be very basic, but it is meant to be a quick first self-guided ever search on the MLS. So hopefully it helps. This will just show you how I do it. Yours may look a little different. I've customized mine. You can customize it by changing, for example, these. You can go to the menu and activate others, etc. So yours may look different, but for this purpose, we're gonna go to quick search, and then I'm going to only select whatever is active. For example, what we can do is you can either do a circle for an area if you know where you're looking. I like to not use that, but instead use use the the shaping tool. That way can be very specific into what I'm looking for. You can look in specific communities, you can look, and set it up between streets, etc. So I like that. If your buyer has a certain price point, we're gonna put 250, for example, and we're gonna do a bottom price of 200. I feel like anywhere between if your buyer has a budget of this, unless it's telling you specifically to go lower, you can decide on how much wiggle room you give yourself there. And then depending on your buyer, if they're looking for condominiums, duplexes, single properties, these are modular homes and manufactured homes. Here in El Paso, they will be just about the same. Now be careful because when you see a duplex, they may not always be a full duplex. Most of the time, they're referring to half of the duplex itself. They're just letting you know that it is part of a duplex structure. In this case, we're gonna just stick with the single family, whether it's a new home or a resale. I like to separate them. In this case, there's not gonna be that many new homes if there are, but either way, I like to separate them and specify. And then depending on my buyer, like I said, or the situation, let's see, you may have um again, same thing, wiggle room here. You may have some wiggle room here. You may have wiggle room here or here. I'm not gonna specify anything here. You can also comment is garage spaces, but if you need to add more, just click on add field. And for example, we could do price per foot, original listing price, list price per foot. You can do financing, for example, VA. I think it'll come out under VA. So for example, finance consider VA loan. And one of the reasons why I like to add a finance option is because it'll default the system to something that is or should be move-in ready versus maybe something that's a little bit more of a fixer-upper or something that needs to be purchased with cash or conventional. So depending on what your buyer is using, you can kind of filter and adjust it this way as well. Let's see if there's a difference. There's a marginal difference, but so we're gonna stick with the move-in ready homes. And you can, like I said, you can add more. Once you go here, you can change the way that you see the properties. You can see it as a list. You can have the list in details. Now here, what I look for is, let's see. So I typically like to look for the price, property taxes, square footage, lot size, the year, bedrooms and bathrooms, and then whether it has any appliances included. And then, for example, garage and cooling. In this case, it's evaporative cooling. And then, of course, the notes. Now, another thing that can give you a quick insight into the type of transaction or negotiation that you could expect could be by looking at the days on the market. Excuse me. It could be the days on the market. If sometimes if you have a buyer that is stretching their budget, you may have a little bit of a wiggle room if the seller is motivated in adjusting their price once it's been for sale for a while. So I like to look at the days on the market as well. And then if you want to schedule, you just go to showing time, click schedule single showing. And then, for example, the day's almost over today. So I would do, for example, tomorrow, and we would do, let's say 9 o'clock. You, if you have a name already saved, you can add your buyer there. I typically just like to leave a note showing in person. Thank you so much. And that's it. Here, if you need to specify whether you're sending an appraiser, whether it's a virtual showing, or you're just previewing, maybe doing a video, checking it out, this is where you would specify. But we're gonna keep it as a single showing, and then we do request. And it's that simple. When the properties are vacant, this property must be vacant. See, so it says right here, vacant on lockbox. And that's why the agent decided to do it on an automatic confirmation for the visit, which is helpful. I like to do that when I can. If you're looking for a single property and you're trying to make a route, I do like to go and use Google Maps so that I can kind of map the best possible route as they're being approved. So a helpful tip could also be consider looking into anything that is vacant on Lockbox. Sometimes has the show anytime. Even though it has the showing anytime, I recommend that you do the route. You try to stick to a schedule, and then you give a call to each of the agents introducing yourself if you need to, but just letting them know that you send a showing request and that you're planning on showing the property at a certain time. If the property is vacant, you can say that you're calling for courtesy and you submitted the request for courtesy, but that way they have it for record as well. You would want that done on your own listings because then you can show to your sellers how much traffic, how many requests have gone through. So as a courtesy, don't just show them. Do the showing time anyway. So I hope that helps. If you need to make any changes through your email, you can change, cancel, etc. And then if there's any combination lockbox, instead of the Sentry, it'll tell you right here. Usually you'll get a code or instructions, etc. So hopefully that helps.